project is called Agentic Real Estate, your personal AI real estate agent. My name is Humberto Calero. My partner is Gerardo Fernandez. I will be covering the business pitch of our project. I will touch on our stack. Gerardo will be doing the demo and also talking about our architecture. Okay. One more check on audio. Everybody can hear me, no problems? All right. Silence sounds like it's good. Okay. So here's the business pitch. Are you in the market for a new home, or will you ever be? Have you dealt with real estate agents in the past? Did you enjoy those interactions? Imagine having a personal guide, one that knows the ins and outs of the California real estate job, and that can help you navigate the market without the hassle of a real estate agent. With Agentic Real Estate, you have access to the tools and knowledge traditionally held by professionals right at your fingertips. If you fear those high commissions, get confused by legal jargon and complex rules, or need help negotiating and preparing documents, then Agentic Real Estate is right for you. With Agentic Real Estate, you have the confidence to inform your decisions, whether you're buying, selling, or sharing, without relying on anyone else. Why wait for someone else to guide your real estate decisions when you can take control today? Agentic Real Estate is here to simplify, save, and empower you through real estate journey. There you go. So that's just a business speech for what we're trying to say. We're trying to explain what this application does. As it says, is helping people be their own real estate agents. Our application uses, these are a stack. We have LangChain is all our tooling for building the application. We use Lang Smith for our monitoring. OpenAI models like for embedding and for LLM. And our Quadrant is our vector database. Chainlit is our UI. This is the architecture which Gerardo will touch on. And we are ready to move on to the demo.
Thank you, Berto. Do you actually mind pulling back up the architecture picture?
Absolutely.
So basically the architecture was thought of having it as agentic, meaning, the idea of this application is to have several agents that are actually interacting with each other. There will be one, or there is a main agent that is only the only responsibility is to be functional, meaning it will be knowledgeable about all of the kind of the functionality of a real estate agent. Getting a license, what are the responsibilities, the fiduciary responsibilities that the agents have, et cetera, et cetera. There will be another agent that is much more knowledgeable on just the legal or the law, what the state of California law is for real estate and for home ownership and things like that. And we designed it this way so that because we felt it was much more flexible in case, in the future, when we actually want to extend this to perhaps add things like adding APIs so that, if somebody is actually interested in buying a home, it could be used, or they could go through this application to actually, hit the MLS API and then have some results on houses that might be available to them based on some criteria. So for now, we just have it set up as the functional part of the real estate agent. And yeah, so this is basically the architecture for that one agent. We use Quadrant for our database. We have a retrieval tool that we use the Quadrant retrieval tool, and then we just package all of that stuff. We send it to the LLM. In this case, we're using GPT-4 Mini. And yeah, so at this point, I think I can just give you just a taste of what the application is looking like right now. And I'm just going to give it some, some basic inputs here so that we can see, start taking a look and have a flavor of what kind of responses we could see from this real estate agent. So here we see that the fiduciary duties, highest good faith toward the client, commitment to deal fairly and honestly, et cetera, et cetera. As we can see, I mean, this is a very functional real estate focus responses, right? So we could ask what is perhaps expected of a real estate agent in California. And here we see kind of like the things that are expected that the real estate agent is expected to have, right? Licensing, qualifications, fiduciary duties, like we saw before, supervision, compliance, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We could also ask things like, hey, I wonder if, an agent is actually able to represent both the seller and the buyer. And yes, we see here that it is in fact able to do that. And then, we could even be further more specific about the legal requirements for a real estate agent. And then he will see that, there is licensing, employment, duties and obligations for real estate agent, care, integrity, honestly, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So this is kind of like the first stages of how this application is working. Like I mentioned before, the next steps for this will be to integrate an agent that's an expert in the law of California. And then beyond that, we could see many use cases for, including APIs and things like that for the end user. And this concludes the demo.